The Glories of Chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita from the Padma Purana. Lord Vishnu said, "My dear Lakshmi, you have heard from me the glories of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now please listen carefully as I tell you the glories of the second chapter. Once in the south, in the town of Pandharpur, a learned Brahmana by the name of Deva Shama lived. He was able to perform all kinds of fire sacrifices. He also knew the importance of receiving guests, and by his activities he managed to satisfy all the demigods. But he was not happy and peaceful in his heart and mind. He had a desire to attain knowledge of the soul's relationship with the Supersoul, Paramatma. Towards this end, he would invite many yogis and tapasvis, render all kinds of service to them, and inquire from them about the absolute truth. In this way, he passed many years of his life. One day, while he was walking, he saw a yogi sitting cross-legged with his eyes fixed on the tip of his nose, totally absorbed in meditation. Deva Shama could perceive that this yogi was completely peaceful and without any material desires. Deva Shama, with the greatest respect and reverence, fell at the feet of the yogi and inquired from him how he could attain complete peace of mind. At that time, the yogi, who had complete knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, advised Deva Shama to go to the village of Sopur and meet Mitravan, a goat herder, and take instructions in the science of God realizations from him. After hearing this, Deva Shama again and again offered his respectful obeisances at the feet of the yogi and then left for Sopur. When he arrived there, he found on the northern side a beautiful forest where Mitravan lived. When he entered the forest, he saw Mitravan sitting on top of some rocks on the bank of a small river. Mitravan looked very beautiful and totally peaceful. In the forest, the wind was blowing very gently and a beautiful aroma was emanating from every direction. The goats were peacefully moving here and there, totally unafraid. Some were seen to be sitting next to tigers and other ferocious animals. When Deva Shama saw this scene, his mind became peaceful and he respectfully approached Mitravan and sat close to him. Mitravan appeared to be fully absorbed in his meditation. After some time, Deva Shama inquired from him how he would be able to attain devotion to Lord Krishna. When Mitravan heard this question, for a moment he was lost in deep thought. Then he replied, "My dear learned Deva Shama, once long ago I was in the forest looking after the goats when a very ferocious tiger attacked. All the goats ran here and there to save themselves. I also ran off due to fear of the tiger. From some distance, I looked back and saw that the tiger on the bank of the river had caught one of my goats. At that time, a strange and wonderful thing happened. The tiger lost all his anger and desire to eat my goat. Thereupon my goat asked the tiger, 'You have attained your food, so why are you not eating the meat of my body? You should immediately kill me and with great relish eat up my flesh. Why are you hesitating?' The tiger said, 'My dear goat, since I have come to this place, all anger has left me and I have no hunger or thirst.' The goat said, 'I also do not know why I am feeling so fearless and peaceful. What can be the reason for this? If you know, then kindly inform me.' The tiger replied, 'I also do not know. Let us inquire from that person.' When I saw this exchange between the tiger and goat, I became very astonished. At that time they approached me and inquired as to the reason. I noticed a monkey sitting on the branch of a nearby tree. I went with the two of them and inquired from the monkey. With great respect, the monkey said, 'Listen, I will tell you a very old story. In this forest, just in front of you, there is a very large temple in which Lord Brahma installed a Shiva linga. Long ago, a learned sage of the name Sukama, who had performed many austerities, lived there. Daily he would bring flowers from the forest and water from the river and worship Lord Shiva. In this way, he was living here for many years when one day a sage arrived. At that time, Sukama brought fruits and water and fed the sage. After the sage had eaten and rested, Sukama said that he was living here, performing austerities and worship only to obtain knowledge of Lord Krishna. But the results of his austerities had been attained today by coming in contact with him. When the sage heard the words of Sukama, which were full of submission, he became greatly pleased, and he wrote the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita on his stone. He instructed Sukama to daily read those verses and told him that by so doing he would quickly attain his goal. After having spoken thus, the sage disappeared from that place while Sukama was looking on. After that, following the instructions of the sage, Sukama recited those verses daily for the rest of his life. Quickly he attained complete knowledge of Lord Krishna, and from the day he started reciting those verses, he felt no more thirst or hunger. And due to his austerities and devotion performed at this place, anyone who visits here does not feel the pangs of hunger and thirst, and immediately attains complete peace. Mitravan said, "My dear Devasham, after the monkey had finished telling us that wonderful story, I, along with tiger and goat, went to that temple. There we found the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita written on a stone, and we started to recite those verses daily. In this way, we were soon able to attain devotion to Lord Krishna. My dear Brahmana, if you also start reciting the verses of second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, you will quickly attain the mercy of Lord Krishna." Lord Vishnu said, "My dear Lakshmi, in this way Devashama attained knowledge from Mitravan, and after worshipping that great soul, he returned to Pandharpur and daily recited the second chapter. He would also recite it to anyone who visited Pandharpur. In this way, Devashama attained the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. My dear Lakshmi, these are the glories of second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita." Thus ends the glories of chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita from the Padma Purana.